right. I'm really excited about this. Thank you all for coming out tonight. As you know, my name is Adam Arkfeld. To get started, I want to roll with this. Hi, friend. Welcome to our landing page. Thanks for visiting. Now, you're probably here because you're interested in... Hey, friend. Welcome to our landing page. Thanks for visiting. Now, you're probably here because you're looking for someone to help you with your AdWords management. Now, you're probably here because you're looking for someone to help you with your AdWords management. We've got a bunch of text all around this page telling you why we're awesome at AdWords. But if you'd rather watch a little video to learn more, I'm going to tell you why. But if you'd like to watch a little video to learn more, I'm going to tell you three reasons you should get in touch with us. But if you'd like to watch a video to learn a little, but if you're the type that likes to watch a video instead of reading a bunch of words, I'm going to give you 3 reasons to get in contact with us. One. Okay, so this was a very early video. So if anyone is sitting here thinking, man, I'm going to be terrible at video, I mean, that's pretty terrible if you ask me. So we all start somewhere, and we do a lot of things. I'm going to tell you tonight how you can kind of get past a lot of those humps, but the early videos are going to be painful, and they're going to be brutal, and this is like literally the most, I actually hated watching these on my own in front of my computer, let alone in front of everybody else here. But I wanted you to show that to kind of set a baseline expectation for my experience. You didn't post that. What's that? You didn't post that, did you? No, I mean, I edited that really hard, yeah. I think that did make it on Facebook, yeah. All right, so my name's Adam Arkfeld. I own a pay-per-click agency named Paracore. We specialize in Facebook ads and Google AdWords advertising. We actually don't do anything formally related to video, which I think is a benefit for me speaking here because I come from an environment of not having a lot of experience with video. I threw the word introvert up there because this is like my least favorite thing to do, standing and talking to people. I don't like going out to social events. I certainly don't like being in front of a camera. And if you ask anybody that knows me, I prefer to sit and read a book. We talked about books earlier. And just hang out. So if you share any of those characteristics, you can be rest assured that those barriers are fairly easy to get over, just with a little bit of time. All right, so I am not qualified at all to talk about video. I know nothing about how to use a camera. I use my cell phone. I'm a tech guy, and I know all those features, but I've never been to video school. I don't know what an f-stop is. I don't know what aperture is. I don't know any of that. So we're actually not going to talk about any of that tonight. Your phone does that. That's what Apple does. Apple does that for you. What we're going to talk about is some of the ancillary lighting and audio and things like that that are going to make your videos just look a lot better and give you more control over your video editing environment. So when I started about a year ago, Katie, who introduced everybody, was actually a content writer for me. Working with another woman, Shayna Rosenberg, and they're both amazing content writers, and they were writing a lot of content for the blog. And I just realized I wanted to take a position with Paracore that we want to do video. We don't want to post a bunch of other content out there that's already being done by other PPC agencies. And on YouTube, there wasn't a lot of content posted just by PPC agencies for marketers related to pay-per-click advertising. So I said, you know what? Never done video before, but I'm going to double down on this. And now it's really all we do. It's our #1 lead generation tool. It's also a great marketing push when it comes to creating content for social channels. All right, so tonight we're going to talk about really 2 main categories, and then there are a few ancillaries. The 2 main categories are hacking together a studio, either in-home or at your office. So studios are used for talking head style videos like the one I just showed you, or maybe an interview, so they're a little bit more formal. And then the second major component we're going to talk about is creating videos on your phone. So that's going to be more live action footage, maybe interviews, event recaps, things like that. So those are really the 2 main components we're going to be talking about tonight. And I'm obviously going to dive into those more later. We're going to be talking a little bit about feeling comfortable in front of the camera, shortening your filming process, and also tips for posting on Facebook, Instagram, and other social channels. So I'm really going to lean on number 1 and 2, the heaviest. And if you have any questions whatsoever or comments, I want you to please just throw them at me because there are a lot of little nuances to the things we'll talk about. So at any given moment, please raise your hand, shout out, I don't really care, throw pizza at me, and we can talk about that. Don't throw pizza at me. That third option was not approved by Galvanize. All right. Any questions yet at this moment in time? No. All right. All right, so hacking together a studio. When it comes to filming videos, you usually see 2 types. You see those where a guy's talking, and they're typically very educational videos. I'm going to bestow my knowledge upon you. I'm going to talk about your area. You're going to talk about your area of expertise, and you're really just going to push a message and content. And a lot of the videos that you see on YouTube are like that, right? The other scenario that you see when you're using a studio is interview-style videos. So you might have someone come in, you're sitting at a desk, and you're talking about a topic that's really relevant to the 2 of you. And so the nice thing about a studio, if you have space in your office or at home, is that you can just pump out videos really fast. If you have it set up and you have your lighting and all of that, you can record the videos, do some light editing, and I'll tell you how to get there, and then push out videos really quickly. So studios allow for the indoor staged videos. And really the main components, besides the camera and the phone, which, like I said, we're not really talking about tonight, are lighting, sound, and the game changer for me, which was teleprompting. And teleprompting is insanely important. I actually have a teleprompter right there that I'm going to kind of show you how it works. So those are the really 3 main components that are contributing to your home studio. So I think this will work if I just hit this guy. When you run a business, you're not always in office or even available to take a call, let alone track one. So what do you do when you're out in the field working with customers or having meetings? What if only one person is available in the office or no one's available? Maybe it's the weekend and you're missing a lot of calls because it's not during normal business hours. This is perhaps one of the easiest pain points to alleviate using CallRail's call flow features, which we'll be covering in today's video. I'm Adam Markfeld, owner of Paracore, a pay-per-click lead generation agency. This is the 8th video. So that video was a little different than the first video. Would everybody agree? Yep. Yeah, and that's just about a 6-month difference. And Shayna, I didn't know Shayna was coming tonight, and so she really stepped up the game as far as me having to say things accurately. But Shayna came in and kind of helped me with lighting and really educated me on what it means to have a 3-point lighting kit. And this is just against a white wall. There's no sort of big studio backdrop here or anything. We have a couple lights, which I'm going to go over in a minute. But this is a totally different video. And when someone looks at this video, they're going to get a completely different perception of the first video, obviously, which was a train wreck, complete train wreck. All right, so studio equipment list. As I was mentioning before, there are just a couple main components. We're talking about a 3-point lighting kit. And if you signed up for information in the back, we're actually going to send out all the slides as well as an equipment list where you can get these online. 3-point lighting kit, a recorder in lavalier, which I'm actually wearing right now. I'm recording this because we're going to produce a video after of the presentation. A tripod, which we have a couple in the back, and then the teleprompter, which I mentioned right here. All right, so Andrea's here, and I said, Andrea, give me an image where I look good with our lighting, and she gave that image. So I guess apparently I look better in that image. So let's talk about lighting for a second. One area of filming that is kind of elusive is lighting. And you'll be in a space where it's maybe a little bit dark. If you don't have additional lights in here and you start filming, it's not going to look amazing, but it's also not going to look terrible, right? So the phones are really developed and designed to give you pretty decent light. In the top photo, you can see on the right side of my face that there's actually light. So we were trying to light this up correctly. So we had a light on the right side. It was illuminating the right side of my face. The back is a dark background, and on the left, there's not really any lighting. And so my face is kind of blends in with the background. It's kind of dull. And even if it was on a white background, it would feel very similar. In the bottom picture, even though I have a weird face on right now. The lighting's a little bit better. You can see that on the left-hand side here, it's a little bit brighter. And on the right side, there's a little bit of light, which is kind of hard to see in this photo. I have some better photos later that illustrate this. And then the background is very bright. So this is done using a 3-point lighting kit. And 3-point lighting kits are more or less 3 of these guys, okay? These are just lights that you buy on Amazon. These guys cost, how much do they cost? $119 for 3 of them, so they're not the most expensive. And it's all about the positioning of these, all right? So a 3-point lighting setup is, involves a key light, a fill light, and a key light. See, this is me, like I actually barely even know what these things are called. I had to remind myself of the 3-point lighting kit. A main key light, a fill light, and a hair light. And so when you position these, you want one light to be here, just very close, and it brightens up the right side of your face. And I'm talking about maybe this distance. And I'm going to step back here a little bit so you guys can see on this side. So if I'm standing against this white wall, this light might be right here, hitting my face, maybe a little bit higher, and it's creating a strong light source on the right side of my face, and this is the key light. This is the main light that's lighting up my face. The second light is going to be over on this side. It's going to be a little bit farther away, and it's either going to be farther away, or you're going to maybe turn off a couple of the lights, and it's going to create a light source on this side of my face that's a little bit less bright. So what that's going to do is it's going to create some depth and dimension on my face. The next slide is going to illustrate this with 3 different photos where those 3 different things are articulated. And then the third piece, which is the hair light, actually comes behind you and is above, and it creates kind of a glow behind you. And it also creates a little bit more dimension on your face and your body when you're creating these studios. So, yes?
A question. So I bought my light kit already, thanks to your recommendation. But one of the things I noticed, like when I was shopping for it on Amazon, the descriptions seemed to be very consumed with like the flicker rate or the hertz rate or that kind of thing, and the ability to turn on and off individual light bulbs. Like, is any of that important? Do I care about any of that?
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know either. It's just, like, all the descriptions had like all that information.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I wonder if this
sounds overwhelming. Yeah, and that's kind of why. I mean, I feel kind of bad saying that, but that's really why I'm teaching this course, is because I don't know. It seems fine to me. I mean, Shayna would know the answer to that. But as far as I know, fluorescent lights that have, this one has 4 in it. I'm able to turn off 2 of these if I want to. Yeah, there's 2 switches on the back. They do great. I mean, it's not like rocket science. Like, they have a ton of these online. If you're looking for something very specific, you're advanced enough where you know what that stuff means. But, I mean, no, I didn't look at that. I looked at Amazon's recommendation. What's that called? Amazon, it's not Prime. Amazon Choice or whatever, yeah. And I was like, that sounds great. Let's do that. Let's rock and roll. Yeah, so keep it simple. That's kind of the problem with video, is the barrier to entry is kind of high. When you talk about blogging, it's like, hey, let's write a blog and let's throw it up on the internet and you're good. Like, is my grammar good? Great, let's rock and roll. When you do a video, it's a whole nother deal, and that's why we find video so valuable, is because the barrier to entry is kind of high, and so not a lot of people are doing it. But YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world. YouTube is insane. Tons of activity coming through YouTube. And so when that's the #2 search engine and the barrier to entry is high, the opportunity is tremendous. It's just mind-blowing. Good question. Anybody else? All right. So here's what I was trying to articulate earlier. Excuse me. As you can see here, this is just the one key light. So you can see that the right side of his face is obviously very bright, and the left side of his face is not. So this is where I'm standing here. The light's hitting me on the right side of my face, and it's bright. Okay? And I think doing the progression of these, like if you are wanting to set up a little studio, is really nice, so you can see what it looks like when all the lights are being turned on and off. The second image is obviously has the fill light. So the left side of his face is illuminated a little bit. It's not as bright as the right side of his face, which allows you to create a little bit of depth and texture. And it's kind of a dark image in the first place. It's the best one I could find. And then the third or backlight, you can see this little glow here, right? And that just adds a little bit of I guess a little bit of separation from the background, whatever your background might be. So setting up your lights in this way, and you can just Google how to set up a 3-point lighting kit, and they'll have YouTube videos, and they show you really easily. It's a fairly simple process, but incredibly impactful when it comes to lighting. Any questions on lighting? Yes,
so
Jackie?
Let's just say you're not in it to win it from getting all this equipment.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere in the valley where you can go and, like, let's just say you're going to pound out like 8 videos at one time and they have all this stuff?
I think Shannon knows the answer to that question. Your old studio?
They're not.
No.
There's a place downtown that you maybe called U Studios, and they may or may not be set up. I don't know for sure anymore, but they used to be.
I don't know. We use my office.
Yeah.
We set it up, and we don't have a dedicated space, and it's kind of annoying because we're setting it up and tearing it down all the time. You get really good at setting it up. But you can do it in a fairly small space, but yeah. But I mean, with that, I mean, you would probably have to pay for those spaces. So buying the equipment, the total investment is probably about $400, and kind of storing it and setting, I mean, you're kind of doing the same thing anyway, setting it up and knocking out 8, but you just have to know a little more if you're doing it yourself. Yeah, it's kind of the downside. All right. The second component, and I read somewhere that sound is the most important part of a video, which is a little bit deceiving considering video's video. So I wanted you to listen to 2 different audio clips.
Hi friend, welcome to our landing page. Thanks for visiting. Now you're probably here because you're interested in, hey friend, welcome to our landing page.
Same video.
Thanks for visiting. Now you're probably here because you're looking for someone to help you with your AdWords management.
Okay, so that sounded a little bit echoey. It sounded like there was a fan on in the background. I'm pretty sure that our air conditioning was on. It was also by a wall where there was traffic going by, and it just sounded like, right? Like if you see that on Facebook or on a video, you're not really going to feel it. So here is a second sample. Pop quiz, everybody. What's the one thing that most successful marketing campaigns have in common? Anybody? Anybody? They are personalized to the audience. The messaging speaks to what the target audience actually cares about, and today we're covering how to do that with one of Unbounce's most fancy features. I'm Adam Arkfeld, owner of Paracore, a pay-per-click lead generation agency. That's a lot different. Crazy different. So we, at Paracore, we use a recording device and a lavalier, which I actually have on right now. It's clipped to the inside of my shirt. The cord runs down the front, inside my shirt, down the front, and then on the back here is the recording device. So I turn it on, I hit record, and we rock and roll. Now, they do have audio inputs for iPhones and cameras and things like that. We just haven't set it up that way. This is how we did it when we originally set up our studio. It's probably actually not the most efficient because when you're combining the video and the audio, you have to kind of match up the sound waves, and that's just like one step that's kind of annoying. When we get to the editing part, I mean, other people are potentially taking care of that. But the audio and the way that you handle audio is obviously incredibly important. And so the way we get around that is using the recorder and the lavalier. Any sort of a microphone is just really, really, really important when you're doing video. Anything on this? All right.
What are you using?
What am I using?
Yeah, you told us which lights you're using, but which mic are you using?
That mic? That mic?
I'll just tell Amazon find the one that Adam uses.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just do n00bs mic, and then it'll come. No, I don't know what the name of it is. I bought it a long time ago, but when we send out the information, we're going to have an equipment list in the back. So it'll have links to all the Amazon links. Yeah, yep.
And how does that work with your phone or whatever you're using to actually record?
The microphone?
Yeah.
How does the microphone work? I haven't personally done that, but I was just researching it for this presentation, and they just have microphones that come in and they go into the power jack, I believe, at the bottom of the phone. So I apologize, we just don't do that. And then when we get into the video, the mobile phone portion of our conversation, we don't use anything extra. We just use our phone. So the phones are pretty badass. I mean, they will basically get you where you need to go. But we like this because it gives us a little bit more control, and it's just like really, really crystal clear. And we're already doing some editing anyway, so throw on the audio file and make it sound really good, and it really elevates your video to a new level. Yeah. All right. This guy right here, the teleprompter, was one of the most important decisions and changes that we made when we're filming videos. Excuse me, I have a little bit of a, did anybody get this cold? Anybody get this flu situation? Man, I'm on 3 weeks and it's just like I have a hint of a cough, and I'm past it, don't worry, but man, it was brutal. Okay, so I knew nothing about teleprompters when I first started filming, and I didn't even know how they worked. Like, I guess I saw them on presidential addresses like one time, and I didn't know how easily you could make them with just a little home studio. So the first video we saw, I was freestyling is what I like to call it, where I'm just talking. And if you're doing a long video, 3 or 5 minutes, you either have to be an awesome speaker, where you can just speak fluently and you're in good shape, or you have to practice. And so I'd practice for an hour for a 3-minute video clip, and then Dustin, where's Dustin, would stand there and watch me fumble through these videos, and I would film an hour for a 3-minute video clip, and then I would edit for like 2 hours. And it was the worst thing I've ever done. And then I was introduced to the teleprompter. And this guy right here, I think, is $130 online. It goes on top of a tripod. This is a normal tripod. You just buy that separately. And it has a tray right here for an iPad. It has a reflective device here at a 45-degree angle, and your camera sits right here and points through. Okay? So when you take your iPad, there's a teleprompter app that just scrolls your text. You write a script, and that's what we had in the second video. It scrolls the text. It reflects it off of this screen to you. So I'm standing right here, and it's reflecting it back to me, and the camera's coming through, and it doesn't see any of the text. And this guy is a game changer when you're producing a lot of videos. The flip side is you have to write scripts for all of your videos, so you do have to do that. However, writing a script versus trying to freestyle it and then edit it after is a completely different environment and way to approach doing the videos.
That glass doesn't have any like tinting or special shape to it or anything. Like I could go to Home Depot, buy a piece of glass, put it on a tripod, put it on my iPad.
I don't know.
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know about that. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I will say, the thing is constructed for this purpose. So it has a holder here for an iPad. This is like an iPad 2 or something. This thing barely works. Literally all it does is teleprompt, is a scroll for us. And then it has the holes here for the camera to be mounted and then shoot through. So it is well designed from that side. And then this black screen on the back, if you don't have the black behind it, when you're looking through it, it's semi-transparent, and it's very, very, very hard to read when it's semi-transparent. And so this kind of goes over the camera, goes over the top, and then you just have this filming experience, which is like boom, 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 boom. So Kimberly in the back writes our content, and if we're producing a series or we're doing something else, she'll write the content and I'll review it, but I'll basically stand in front of the camera and read the script without really practicing it. I won't practice. I'll read through it and kind of read it out loud, so I know like where the articulation should be and the pauses and the pacing kind of. But I mean, we do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-minute videos on this in just like no time at all. It's really nice.
And then the app has something where you can adjust the speed of the scroll, speed it up or slow it down.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can definitely do that, so you have to kind of work that out for yourself. And the app that I have actually will listen to you and scroll in real time. However, as you get a little bit better at filming, you kind of you start freestyling a little bit more, like just to be honest. And so if you don't say the word, the next word that's coming up, it perceives that you've missed it, and then it'll stop. And so that kind of becomes a problem. I was really excited about that feature, and then I would skip a word for whatever reason, and then it would stop, and that was a bummer. The issue with the teleprompter is that you can be kind of robotic. And even if you watch our videos, like when I'm watching, I'm like, I feel robotic in this video, and it's just not 100% natural. I mean, you're reading. If you look closely, you can see your eyes kind of like pacing back and forth. But the trade-off is like, for us, we wouldn't be creating videos. I'm just not good enough to stand up there and just like rock out a 3 or 5 minute video and cover everything I want to cover and be articulate and not have to edit it and everything else involved. So that trade-off and that sacrifice is totally worth it for me. And if someone's going to hammer me on it on YouTube, then fine.
Can you give us some examples of the topics that you're doing videos on? Because like when I think of videos, like I really want to do videos to promote like other content that I have on our blog, or maybe an event that I'm going to be speaking at or something like that. How are you using it? Because the videos that we've done in the past are not 3 to 5 minutes. So are they more like informational type videos?
Yeah, so there are, and that's a great segue into the next section, but there are 2 types of videos that we do. We do like educational videos. So we do series, which makes it really easy for us to kind of coordinate what we're doing from a content perspective. So we're doing a series on using Unbounce, which is a landing page generator, and a series on using CallRail, which is call tracking. And we might do 8 to 10 videos in that, 3 to 5 minutes each video, and release 1 a week. And those will roll out on YouTube over the course of a quarter, basically. So that's our YouTube marketing, and that's our trade-off for blogging. So we don't blog. However, we do take those videos, we embed them on our website, and we transcript them, and we throw all the text on our website. So from an SEO perspective, we have all the text on the website, we have the video on our website, and then we also have a transcript for the video on YouTube, which YouTube uses to index for the YouTube search engine. And so for us, that's how we use these kind of like studio videos. Now the next section, filming videos on your phone and being more fluid, those we use for event marketing. If there's like an impromptu company video, I'll use it for that. If it's like someone's birthday, we might do a video. Those are the types of things that we do. We do those on the phone, typically. Does that answer your question? Okay. When you start building these studios, just do whatever you want. I mean, look at the 3-point lighting kit, set it up, take a couple pictures, do some short clips. If you look good, rock and roll. If you don't, throw it away. In this video right here, or in this setup, this isn't even a 3-point lighting kit, a 3-point lighting setup. This is kind of off to the side. This is kind of off to the side. I think this is a key light. I don't know. I'm separated from the back. This is one of our earlier videos. I looked okay, but just experiment with what you're trying to do with these videos, right? And what you're trying to do with your lighting. And as you do it more, and as you see it, you're gonna be like, my face was kind of dark in that one. I wanna brighten it up. Move the light closer. Like I wasn't really feeling the fill light, or there wasn't enough separation for me in the background. And you just solve those problems as they come up. Don't stress about it. It's not rocket science. It can be rocket science if you want it to be, but it doesn't have to be. All right, so the next section is more related to creating videos on your phone. And as I was just mentioning, which was a good segue, we create videos on our phone for highlight reels, doing things like company overviews, if you want to do an interview with an employee, if you just have an experience that you want to capture. These types of videos done on your phone are really good for that. So they tend to be more cinematic. They're great for sharing on social, like Facebook and Instagram. And so this portion is going to be all about using your phone and what props are related to that. Whereas the first part was a little bit more formal, studio-ish, if anybody was interested in that. And so let's move into this. All right, so here is an example of an impromptu company educational video that I just set up and filmed one day because this new change had kind of come out in AdWords. And I was like, you know what? I want to push this out to my Facebook page. Let's do this. And I think it took maybe 20 minutes. Hey everybody, Adam Arkfeld with Paracore. If you are a home services professional, you need to watch a couple seconds of this video because Google AdWords just recently released a change that was only available in select markets, and we're now seeing it roll out in Phoenix, and they're rolling it out across the US a little bit subtly. So if you're a plumber or an electrician or a locksmith or some other sort of home service provider, AdWords now has a new interface that allows consumers to actually request quotes through Google AdWords. They don't even go to your landing page, it just goes through Google AdWords.
here's a screenshot of my browser and my landing page, and as you can see, I typed in Phoenix electricians, and then 3 electrical companies come up. So now what you used to see is you would see these 3 listings and then maybe a little additional information. But when I click more electricians in Phoenix right now it takes me to a whole new AdWords interface, and it says send request there on the right-hand side. So this is totally different. Now when people do this, they hit send request, got it, and they actually get a request for your electrical services through AdWords. So this is totally different. These are only sponsored. This is not organic, so you have to be running it through the AdWords platform. Thanks for checking out the video. If you are interested in learning a little bit more about those home service ads, give me a shout. You should share this video with any of your home service professional friends if they're running ads on AdWords. Or if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Hope you have a great weekend. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you have any questions.
Okay, so totally different style, right? Kind of had some background music, a little bit of energy. It was kind of janky. Like I was just sitting in my office and I flipped the camera and was putting it on my computer screen. I mean, that's not exactly hardcore. However, what it did was it got across a message that I thought was really important at the time. And I took that video, I posted it to Facebook, and then I boosted it to people that owned electrical, plumbing, or HVAC companies. And then they saw that. So that took me probably 20 minutes, and it was easy to get a Facebook video ad up and running to the correct audience based on this massive AdWords change that had just happened. Excuse me.
So you said that took you about 20 minutes. That one had a little bit of production in it, like with the graphics and the music. Is that all that was done within the 20
Yeah.
minutes?
Yeah, and I'm going to show you a demo of that.
Cool.
And did that perform for you?
Not really. Yeah, I mean, for us, it's kind of like we try and push out a lot of content. I think I boosted it for maybe $25. But what that did do is now that video lives on our Facebook page. And so anyone that's maybe checking out Paracore, they want to know a little bit more about us. We use Facebook a lot for recruiting, but they'll also go check out that, they'll see that video, and then that establishes industry experts, a little bit of credibility. And so when it comes to that, that's what we used it for. Yeah. There are only a few apps that I will use and that I have found that are good that I'll continue to use. And I researched a lot of apps for this presentation. I researched a lot of apps before. And these are the ones that I keep coming back to. Quick is the app that created that video, and we'll create another video that I show you in a minute. I'm going to demo it for you. Quick is created by GoPro. You basically select a lot of media, throw on some audio, and you can create a really good looking video in less than 20 minutes, less than 30 minutes. I've created videos that won me a $1,000 contest that I created on a flight back from an event because it just looked really nice. So Quick is by far our go-to and the app that we use most often.
Do you have to use GoPro to
No.
use it? Okay.
No, it's just created by GoPro. Splice is also by GoPro. And this is just like a little bit more beefed up version of Quick. One of the limitations of Quick is your video can only be the length of one song. So if you find a long song, it might be 4 or 5 minutes, but most songs are more like 3 minutes. So that is a limitation. You literally cannot make a video longer than one song on Quick. However, with Splice, you can stack songs against each other. You have a few more editing capabilities. So if you want to graduate out of Quick, but I still use Quick because it's so money. iMovie is a good one for cutting up videos. If you want to get a little bit more advanced, spend a little bit more time on your phone. I really enjoy iMovie. It's not too complicated once you've figured it out, but it does require a little bit of extra time. I think you can extract audio from video and do things like that. iMovie's good. PowerDirector Mobile, I read, is a competitor, is an app that you use on Android because iMovie's not on Android, I don't think. I can't confirm or deny that. I don't use an Android, so that's what I was told was a good competitor. So these are at least Quick and Splice, and Quick, Splice, and iMovie. If you're creating videos, downloading those 3 apps, I think you're in pretty good shape if you want to create some stuff on your phone. All right, when you are filming videos on your phone, there are a couple considerations that you should keep in mind. The first one is phone orientation. Everybody tends to take their phone, mine's hooked up for the demo, so I'm not going to do it. and film like this with it vertical in portrait mode, right? So it's just natural. I mean, that's how you use your phone. However, when you're editing the videos, that orientation makes it look like crap. And the reason is, a lot of Quick in particular will trim down your videos to look good in a certain window. Now, if you flip your phone horizontally, how do you center your phone? The person is always in the center of your phone. And Quick is like, all right, cool, we're going to cut off the sides, right? So it just does that. It does it automatically. And that's basically what people do when they're filming with their phone. If you have your phone in portrait, how do you orientate someone? Their head is like in the top third, right? Or it might be in the center. And Quick is like, we don't know what's going on with these portrait videos. We're not going to cut that. We might cut off this dude's head. So it then creates this boxy video with this fuzzy things on the side, or it just kind of looks like crap. So anytime you're filming videos, make sure you flip your phone horizontal. Don't forget to do that, and film in landscape mode. Don't film in portrait. That's at least what I've experienced. I think that's really helpful when you do that. When you're doing these videos, you want to think about how long you want the videos to be. So do you want to be short? Because now you're going to be kind of doing it on the fly on your phone. So are you going to be taking B-roll footage, which is, if you saw Dustin before and after this presentation, he's walking around with his stabilizer, which I'll show you in a second, and basically taking B-roll footage, which is just candids. He liked the brick wall, so we walked over by the brick wall. The Galvanize logo looks cool. Everybody in here looks cool. And that's just filler footage that you don't really notice when you're watching a video that this is Dustin, this is B-rolling. So you don't really notice that when you're watching a video that there's kind of like this footage that creates a sense of environment in your video. It gives you the context. It tells you what the location looks like. It tells you the people that are there. It tells you what people are doing. B-roll footage is really cool. So when you're conceptualizing a video, think, hey, like what would be a cool video what would be some cool clips that I could throw into that video? And again, I'll be showing you a demo just to give you a better feel for this. The last piece is audio versus no audio. Do you want people to be maybe talking in the video? I did a video for the accelerator group that I'm a part of with Matt Adams, who's here just fairly recently, and we did an interview with him. So it was kind of like that audio. There was audio over the B-roll footage where it was showing what people were doing, and then it popped up an interview with him, and then we changed the audio so that he came in, and then it went back into more of a cinematic, like highlight reel. So it's not the biggest deal if these aren't like top of mind, but as you're creating more videos, you're gonna start thinking about these things like, I wish I had more like contextual video to throw in this. It's just gonna look a lot better. So just kind of throw it out there as something to think about. All right, we're going to move through the equipment list, and then we're going to take a short break, and then I'm going to show you the demo of how to use Quick. All right, mobile phone equipment. Mobile phone mount. These guys are money in the bank. They're like what, $18? These little guys right here, you clip your phone into it. You can set it up on the table, like so. You can mount it on the side of things. You can mount it up high, down low. These little mount guys are really cool. Okay, they're only $18. If you want to get the camera away from you and position it somewhere, I mean, if you don't have a selfie stick and you want something comparable, I mean, you can drop this at the other side of a room, and then with this remote, you can take a picture. So this is an $8 remote, and between these two guys, you can put your phone in here, mount it up high, mount it down low, put it anywhere you want, and then this is a Bluetooth connector to your phone, and then you can just snag photos, and it's really cool. So between these two guys, you're talking about 25 bucks. They give you views and aspects and positions that you don't have with your phone if you're holding it. And so I highly recommend picking up those two pieces of equipment on their own. And stabilizer is kind of next level. That's what Dustin's been rolling around with back there. The stabilizer allows you to lock onto a position and walk around, and it stabilizes your video so that it just looks really smooth. So, I mean, look at that. Look, that's crazy. So anything Dustin does, and you can lock that into a person, right? Yeah. So lock it onto Ken. Ken? Ken's right there. I met Ken. And then when you walk around him, stays in one spot. So anything you do, it'll change its orientation to lock on that one position. So that's an optional. It's $129 if you're going to an event. If you're responsible for documenting the event, something like that makes your videos look really, really, really nice. Looks amazing.
Do those work very well if you're recording yourself, like a selfie stick, or is it only for?
Yeah, it works really well. I can flip the camera around, hold it up, even does like portrait mode if you wanted to do like Instagram stories. So yeah, it does a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we have, oh, I'll do one more video. Yes, sorry, thank you.
Is that specific just for phone, or could you use that for GoPro also?
They have multiple versions that do all sorts of stuff.
They make a GoPro mount that will give it the iPhone shape and clamp onto your GoPro, and you can just stick the whole thing right there.
Okay.
What I will say is if you introduce the GoPro, and I don't have a GoPro, so this is what I'm assuming, you introduce another step into the kind of getting the videos from the GoPro to the phone. Maybe it's wireless and really easy. By using that as your phone and your primary capture device, it makes it really fast. But again, I don't have a GoPro, so do you have one? Does it
I do.
transfer really fast?
Very proficient at it yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you've got the lens shape, which will actually make the borders look rounded.
Okay.
Fisheye lens, unless you go to a linear setting, and there's a bunch of nerdy stuff which you don't want to fight with. So
Yeah. Yeah, so there's some other video benefits to using the GoPro?
yeah,
Gotcha.
you get a much wider lens angle on it.
Yeah, yeah. So when you, as long as you can, once you take that video and as long as you can get it onto your phone easily, which I'm sure you can, I'm sure they've figured that out a million years ago, then you're in good shape because with these apps, you're really just pulling stuff out of your video library. So I'm just going to give you another example of something that we created on with Quick. This was done after a company outing that we did. This is the Instagram version. We created a 2.5-minute version for Facebook, and then I said, trim it to a minute, and it did it, and that was it. So I went from a 2.5-minute video that I didn't want to show here to a minute video within basically 5 minutes. Okay, so I didn't do any of those effects. I didn't do any of the zooming, I didn't do any of the popping, I didn't do any of the fading, I didn't do any of that. I literally just selected media, said create video, and bam, it was done. The video where we're flying was actually, I think, a 15-minute video that Dustin took, and it cuts it up and creates just different segments. So one of the things when you're creating these videos with Quick especially is you kind of let yourself into the app and let it do what it's going to do, and not trying to over-engineer it. So you can go and you can like really drill down in specific clips and like do all this trimming, but that looked good, and that gets the point across. And so that's a very quick video to create. We're going to take a short break right now, and I think there's some refreshments outside, but maybe just 5 minutes, and then I'm going to show you a demo of using that, and we'll wrap up. But I think we're at 6:20 or so right now. Cool. All right, so here's Quick. There are a number of videos I've already created, which you can see here. So I am addicted to cold brew coffee, and so I've started to create this YouTube channel making cold brew coffee. So I have all these like cold brew coffee videos, ATV adventure, we're live. So just all these different videos, right? All right, so I kind of prepped some content for a video which was like an HR recruitment video for Paracore that I wanted to just put together real quick. It's probably going to be 5 to maybe 8 minutes of our time, but I just want to show you how the app works and show you how easy it is, because it is mind-blowingly easy. All right, so I created a new one, and I created a folder which is called HR promo footage, and I had already dropped all this information in here. Okay, so I'm going to be selecting this Paracore image because I want it to start with Paracore. I want to show a couple other things. I'm going to show Dusty Dustin, give a little testimonial. We're going to do some other things. I'm just going to select some more, and then Mario's going to do a testimonial, and then we have a couple more videos, and we are going to leave with Paracore at the end, okay? So once I hit add 20 in the upper right-hand corner.
So the order you selected those in is significant.
I'm just kind of thinking ahead a little bit. Like just.
But I mean, like whatever order you selected in
Oh, yes.
is how it's going to end up in the final.
Yes,
Got it.
exactly. You can move them around when you're done. But just because I've done this a couple times, it's like, all right, I know that I want to start with Paracore's logo. The other stuff I picked was random. I smattered in Dustin and Mario, and then I ended with Paracore. That's literally the extent that I was thinking when I did that. These are actually all videos that we just went through the office and just did 4 seconds. They're basically all B-roll, except for the 2 interviews that we did with Dustin and Mario.
Could you add in still photos?
Yes. Yeah. I'll add in a couple just so that you can see them. Yeah.
This is all with your phone that you did these videos with, right?
Yes. Yeah, Dustin did use a stabilizer, but I mean, you can still do good videos, especially these, which are really short, without it. Yeah, very easy. So if you're at an event, if you're wanting to document something, this is a great way to do it. Just taking short videos and just saving them like in a folder on your phone, or not. So this is what's created. So I'm not really feeling this music. It's kind of a buzzkill. So I'm going to roll over to night. Let's get this party started. Right? Changes the entire mood of the video. It's like a different video. Paracore's awesome now. Yeah. I was napping a minute ago. Now I'm at a club. Sorry? Yeah. All right, so this is Dustin. Can you turn down a little bit, maybe? I know this party's hopping, but just a little bit. All right, so we saw Dustin there, and Dustin was chatting, but we couldn't hear anything, right? So I hit Dustin. I'm going to hit this edit button here in the middle, and I'm going to say this volume. I'm going to hit this guy twice. It's called Boost, and now we're going to be able to hear what Dustin says. I'm actually going to go back just a minute just so you can see the transition. Maybe.
4 years ago, one of the things that I really love about it is kind of growth and a role that's grow with life and really make sure to really learn new things every day. Our agency changed. I have more space.
So that was a little bit choppy, which is one aspect of that if you're having someone talk that you might have to deal with. But that was a 2.5-minute video that they chopped up, kind of the way I was talking about with the iFly video. So here's Mario. I'm going to do the same thing with him. Now down here at the bottom, you can add text. So I'm going to say, hey, this is Mario. Mario's the man. And I'm going to, I actually don't even know what this highlight button does. Let's do that.
Highlight a certain spot.
Oh, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. And you can actually trim the video if you want. So I know that Mario's first 30 seconds was poor. I'm just making that up. I don't know if it was or not. And then I'm going to hit the volume because I want to hear him. You have the option to actually to mix it, where you kind of hear him talking with the audio, or this is where the audio is much, much lower and you can hear Mario speaking much louder. And then you can change speed, you can change the fit, you can also duplicate this video. So there's a number of different things on here. But one of the important things that I find with Quick is I create the videos in the context that Quick allows me to create them. I don't get pissed off if I can't do something. It's like, I'll film it differently. Or you know what, let's just roll with this. I don't really care. Because we're trying to create videos quickly, and we're trying to make them look good and sound good. So, I'm okay with that. Now, as I was saying a minute ago, that's not the best representation of Mario speaking. So what I can do is I can trim this, and I can say, you know what, this was a really good 10 seconds. And I hit this little switch here, and it says play this clip without cuts. And now, we're going to get 10 seconds of Mario uninterrupted. This first section here allows me to choose different themes. So each one's a little bit different. So I'll just sit here and I'll like play with these themes, and just the way that it shows, this one kind of looks the same, probably not the greatest example. Let's show dashing. Right, the text is different, the way that it transitions is different. Lines are flying through. So they all just have kind of their own deal. And you find the one that works for your video along with the music. And it's actually really fun to play with, because when you're done, you feel like a baller. You feel like you created a really good video. And you sat on your couch while watching a TV show, you know? A couple other options that are important to, actually I am gonna add a photo just because you mentioned that. I'm gonna do it at the very beginning here. So I hit the edit button, and then I'm hitting add here on the right. And whenever I have the opportunity, I'm adding my, my daughter, because that's just what I do. And so we're adding 2 of her with her new Trolls bike helmet, which is sick. Okay. Did I miss it? It's like, oh, I missed it. Oh, there it is. Dang it. So it kind of does its own thing with the images. You can actually tell it where you want the image to focus. So if you've missed, like maybe you didn't take that image straight on, you can do this guy, and then it just centers the image a little bit more. So it's pretty cool. A couple other settings that are notable. You can change the format, cinema, square is the one we always do, or portrait, if you're doing your videos in portrait. But this is what I'm talking about. Like, this looks lame, you know? It's got the sides cut off. It just doesn't look that good. And then duration and where your music starts. So those are just kind of a couple of the key settings on the app. And when you're done, you save it, publish it, you're good to go, and then you can upload it to any media outlet.
So question for you, now that you have this great sexy video, I mean, I think a lot of us need to know the basics. Like you put it on Facebook, you can boost it, you can do Facebook Ads Manager. You mentioned YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't know a ton about YouTube, but basically you've got to have some good subscribers, or make sure that you're putting in all the tagging in it so people can search it. I mean, what are some of the best practices to really get it out there? Are you putting in all your social feeds, your email? What are you doing with it? You
are a captain of segues. You're the segue captain.
She's a plant.
I know. I will talk about that. And what time is it? 6:40. All right, I'm gonna spin through this next section a little bit faster because it's kind of easy to get your head around, which is editing and kind of streamlining your process. and then we're going to talk about social in a little bit more depth, because some of those things are really important. Okay. I already talked about these things. These were the 4 apps. I basically went over each of these benefits already. Okay, so when you leave here tonight, you're going to go home, you're going to film some stuff, and you're going to create some videos. And if you're doing them on your phone, you're going to be excited. You're going to rock that video. If you think about doing a studio, you're going to get excited about that. You're going to buy some stuff, and then you're going to film. And then in like 30 days, you're going to be like, oh, this is so much time. Like just even watching these videos takes a lot of time. Just editing them takes forever. Like this kind of sucks. So those details can really, really weigh on you if you let that happen, because you have to kind of conceptualize your video, write the content, then edit it, and then publish it. And so we're always looking for ways to streamline that process. And, oh, that's not what I wanted. We're always looking for ways to streamline that process. And the way that we streamline it is by freelancing it all out. So we use Upwork, which used to be something else. Odesk, used to be Odesk. So if you're familiar with Odesk, Odesk is now Upwork. And we'll take that footage, and no matter what sort of blemishes are in it or errors, you send that to someone on Upwork, and you say, make this look pretty. And they can basically do that. So if you have your audio file from the recorder that you're holding in your pocket, you have the video file with your studio that you've created, you just send that to them and just say, edit this and make it not look like crap. And they just know what to do. They do a good job with that. Now, one lesson that we learned is that not everyone's great. So we hired 5 editors, and we said, hey, we're giving you all the same footage, and please give us the videos back. We did no rounds of revisions with any of them, and we just tried to find someone that was good. But that, for us, really expedited the process of finding an editor that we liked. So it wasn't like we edited one video, and we're like, we don't like that guy, let's find someone new. Next video, we don't like that guy. We just invested a little bit of money up front, came 5 videos, compared apples to apples, found who we wanted, and then we stuck with that person. Her name is Daria. She's Russian. We worked with her for a long time, and then she said, I can't work with you anymore. We worked with someone else. Kimberly fired that other person because she was going insane, and Daria is our person. I don't care if she's in Russia. I don't know what her political affiliations are. I don't know what else she's created videos for, but Daria is our gal. And for Daria, she creates videos for 120 to 150, for 3 to 5 minute videos. We do about a video a week, and we don't have to tell her that many things because she's good, and she just keeps on doing our videos. So we bring in raw footage, and then we ship that off to Daria. She sends it back, we do some edits, and it's not a big deal. So I highly, highly recommend this.
Can you send them like just raw phone video footage and be like, make it look awesome?
I mean, yeah. I mean, what I'm referring to here is primarily like the studio where you're standing in front of a teleprompter and you're filming and like you're stumbling over words. Like if we do a 5-minute video, there'll be 3 to 5 times where I like misread something or I'm going too fast or too slow, and then they'll just cut those pieces out. Yeah, so like one long video. Not necessarily the phone stuff. All right, so transcripts. The text within videos is also very important for a variety of reasons. And this is also something that will crush your will to live, because YouTube and Facebook both transcribe your content on the fly in their platforms. And when you first start, you're like, oh, this is amazing. Like, they're going to transcribe it. They're so smart. Transcription's so amazing now. And then you start reading it, and you're like, transcription's not amazing now. It doesn't look good. There's no punctuation. Things are spelled wrong. I mean, there's all sorts of issues with these transcripts that they're creating. So that's great. So they do like an 80% transcript, and then you have to go through and edit it. And that is just so boring. The first time you do it, you like feel really rewarded. Like I used to, like when this is weird, but like when I used to like do dishes more when I was a kid, it was like, I feel really rewarded, like cleaning the dish, like I did something, and then they're like done. And then the more you do something, you're like, all right, the novelty of that is like totally gone. And that's what happens with these transcriptions. So they'll just take forever. So Upwork or Fiverr, find someone that's really accurate, that speaks English well. You send them the audio file. They send you back the transcription, but they need to send it to you in a file format that works for timestamping. So a lot of times we use an SRT file, something along those lines, but it needs to be timestamped. Otherwise, when you upload it to these platforms, it's not synced correctly with the video. And you can do that for like $5, maybe 10. So it's very cheap. It'll save you hours and hours of time. Between the editing and the transcriptions, this will streamline you a lot. All right, so social channels is the last section we were going to chat about. Social channels, what was your exact question again?
So basically, what are you doing with the video once you have it to really gain traction? And then also, now that we're seeing the changes in Facebook algorithm,
Yeah.
any specific tactics you would recommend with video?
Has anybody noticed the changes in Facebook besides just reading about it? And who likes them? Does anybody like them? I hate them. I just don't. I see the same posts over and over again, and I'm like, when I open Facebook, I just want to see new stuff. Like, I don't want to see the same comment I already saw. That's my personal opinion on it. We do Facebook ads, so. When I think there's different intention for the different channels, right? So with Facebook, if you're creating videos for your business, they are not going to appear organically in anyone's feed. It's just not going to happen. So you post it, it's a great video, it's not appearing organically, unless you're a super big brand, and even then, I don't think it's appearing organically anymore. Now, so with Facebook, if you want to get that out to an audience, you gotta pay the man and you gotta run ads, and you can either do that through boosting to an audience, or by doing like more traditional ad management in the Facebook Ads Manager, where you're creating an ad and creating an audience and doing all the budgeting thing. So with Facebook, for us, we only use it for ads. Well, I take that back. If we want to get it out there, we only run ads if we want people to actually see the video. Now, we will post stuff on our Facebook page, but we use our Facebook page more or less for culture. If people want to check out what Paracore's like, what we're doing, are we industry experts, that's what the Facebook Paracore page is for. That's for us. Because your reach is very nominal.
So let's say you have a new product or new service that you're trying to launch, and you're trying to target CMOs. What would be your checklist for something like that?
I would probably run Facebook ads to the job title of CMO, or marketing people in general, basically, because their job title targeting is kind of janky. Or I would do the same thing in LinkedIn. And their job targeting is job title targeting is much stronger, because people care about their job titles on LinkedIn. They don't care about them on Facebook. So
Are you seeing good traction from LinkedIn ads?
LinkedIn ads do not have as good traction in our experience as other platforms. Yeah, but as far as targeting goes, that's where I would go. LinkedIn does, however, have in-mail ads where you can push it right into their inbox, and those are incredibly powerful. It's basically like sending an email to an email list of CMOs. So with Facebook, when you're scrolling in your feed and you're seeing videos pop up, your audio is probably not on the majority of the time. So those transcripts are incredibly important, especially if you're spending money on ads, to make sure they're accurate with good punctuation, spelling, grammar, all of that, so that when someone is scrolling through their feed, they're seeing your transcripts and they're able to understand what's happening in your video without having to actually turn on the audio. Because they might be at work, they could be anywhere. There's tons of places you don't want audio. So that's why transcripts are so important in Facebook. The other area that we spend the bulk of our time is YouTube. As I mentioned before, I believe it's a completely underutilized market. Second biggest search engine in the world by volume. The barrier to entry is extremely high to get into YouTube for reasons just like this. Everybody out there that's running a business or marketing has to get over that video barrier that is just really hard to get over. And so, like, a lot of people are creating, like, whatever the content is they're creating. There's weird stuff on YouTube. But when it comes to businesses and you're like comparing it to a blog, that's a totally different scenario. And so people are always researching on YouTube things to do and how to do different things. So we create series and we use the transcripts for YouTube because that's how YouTube indexes your videos. So on the SEO side, when you're putting content on a website Google is indexing that because it's text, and then that's how the SEO game works, right? You create a lot of content. On the YouTube side, use transcripts, and it acts in the same way in the YouTube environment. There's some other things related to tagging and titling your videos that do the same thing, but transcripting your video is just very important if you want to be discovered. On the ad side, you can actually buy YouTube ad views for like less than 10 cents per view. So if you're spending 10 bucks a day, you can get 300 views a day, and that'll build your subscriber count really quickly. So that's another, it's another way to really, really, really grow an audience on YouTube for not a lot of money. This was just a video that I created for Accelerator, this organization I'm in. And you can just see when it's on your personal, you mentioned how do you use it. If you're doing it for business, you got to pay the man. If you're doing it for personal, people just like love that crap. They love watching videos. Every time I post a video that's personal and it's good, like it's not mind-blowing, but like 7 shares, like no one shares my stuff, but I got 7 shares on this video. And 507 views, you know, so people are talking about the video that are related to it. Matt Adams gets a second call out.
Yeah, right.
Man, dude, you're the man.
Yeah, paid to be here.
Yeah. You paid to be here? Yeah. Instagram is basically the same as Facebook. They run through Facebook, keep your videos under a minute. Quick allows you to just trim it. They just say under a minute videos. Select that option, and you're good to go. Your organic reach is a little bit better on Instagram. And again, your personal network engages. And we already talked about YouTube to a large degree. Cool. If you guys create a video, tag me, because I want to be in it. Or I just want to be aware of it. I don't want to be in it. Unless you want to do a video right now, and then I'll be in it. So thank you all for attending.